Once a quiz has been added to the course and the quiz settings have been established, you can start to build the quiz by adding questions. So to navigate to your quiz, you can just click on it from the course homepage and select Edit Quiz. Right here, you're on a page that organizes the quiz. You'll see a page number and where you can add a question, or where you could add a question from the question bank over here. So we are creating a quiz from scratch, and we will select Add a Question. We'll do multiple choice, and for the category, you'll just do the default for the course and give the question a descriptive name, so that way you would be able to identify the question from a list such as the question bank, in case you ever wanted to use it again. So and in the text is where you will actually type the question itself. Default mark will be set to 1, and general feedback does not need to be entered. We will only have one correct answer for this question, so we'll select it to one answer only. And we do not want the choices to be shuffled, so uncheck this box right here, and the number choices will leave at A, B, or C. In choice 1, we'll put an incorrect answer. But it doesn't really matter if you put the correct answer first or second, but we'll keep the grade to none because it is an incorrect answer. For our correct answer that we're typing into choice 2 under answer, the grade will be 100%. So just remember that when you have a correct answer for a question with only one answer, and you put 100%, and for the incorrect answers, you make the grade to none. So we'll go ahead and put some more answer options in here. Leave the grade at none. And again, leave the grade at none. You do not need to fill in all of the choices, but you can also add more choices if you want to have a question with a lot of options for answers. Combined feedback, we do not want to enter anything here. And penalty for each try is not applicable to our purposes. We do not want to put hints or tags. So all we have to do is save the changes. So now we will add another question to our quiz, but first we will add a page. And then on page 2, click Add a Question. And this time we'll do a true or false. So select true or false, and next. Again, I'm giving the question a descriptive name, and in the question text of a true or false, remember you want to make it a statement that is either true or false, so don't put it in question form. The default mark will remain at 1, and the correct answer will be set to true. You do not need to put feedback in for any of the answers, and you can select Save Changes. So now we will add one more question, a matching question. First, we'll add a page, and we'll add a question on page 3 and select Matching. So in the text, this will be more of directions for matching. So the default mark for a matching question, depending on how many matches you want to make, you can change it. In this example, we're going to have 3 matching choices. We could still keep it at 1, and a student would get, say if they got 1 answer wrong, so they would have gotten 2/3 of the question right, then they would have gotten 2/3 of a point for it. So instead of doing it like that, we'll just make it a 3. And here we're just going to be putting matching terms. So and we want to make sure to keep the questions to all be, in this example, they're all the states, and the answers are all going to be the capitals. So just make sure to be consistent with the questions and answers in that way. And we'll just add 1 more right here. If you want to add more choices for matching, you can do that, but we're fine with these 3. We're not going to add any feedback. We're not going to worry about the multiple tries penalty. And we will save our changes. And now we feel that we've completed this quiz. So to preview the quiz, you can go over to the settings block under Quiz Administration and click Preview. And now you're seeing the quiz as a student would see it. And you can just click Next. Or you can also jump to questions if you have a lot and you don't want to push Next 20 times. You can just go to the question that you want to see. And if you don't like something that you see, you can just click Edit the question right there. So we're happy with that question, so we'll just cancel that. And if you want to go back to reorder the quiz, and maybe you wanted that matching question to be the first question, we'll go back to Edit Quiz, and we can move this matching question that's on page 3 by clicking that little green arrow, and now it's on page 2. And now it's on page 1. But now, oh no, now it's on the top of page 2. So we want to make sure that it's up on page 1. And then we're also going to have to move around these next ones too. So you just click these little green arrows. And now that's on page 2, and we'll make sure to move this multiple choice. Now it's moved down to the second question on page 1. So we just want to make sure it's on page 2. And now we've reordered the quiz. And that completes how to add questions to your quiz.